welcome back to Choose Your Own Path. So part two, of our hawk. I went and wrote eagle on the last one. Don't know why. Anyway, so this is what I'm gonna do. Is I kind of drew on what I wanted. I'm taking the razor tip and I'm burning me some feathers. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna set ourselves up and so we're all set up. So I'm using a razor tip and I'm just using a rounded off edge. I'm not using anything too crazy. What I want to do is I want to burn feathers in the eye in. I'm not going to dig it out with the tools. I'm just going to go around and make the eye. I'm hoping you guys can see this because a lot of times my camera moves on me. And we're just taking our time and following the lines and then darkening this all in. And then we're going to take the airbrush to it after. This will make it stand out. So you get that right there. This is the first part. For the feathers, I'm just basically going with a bunch of V's. Alright, so trying to... I don't think there's really much of a pattern I'm going to do here. I'm just basically focusing on making the shapes and then putting little feather lines in it. So I think that's probably the best way to do it to make it look good in that sense. So, and like I said, just these guys, we're just going to burn them in a little darker. And then we're just going to follow our line. I've never done it this way. I usually carve it in. But I wanted to try something different. If you burn these marks deep enough, hot enough, it makes a big difference when you go to paint after. So, like I said, we're just going to go at one side and then where the beak is, then bringing this side in here. Now you could do this by taking your tool and literally just carving it in, but this is almost the same kind of concept because you are basically, you're burning and it's carving it right in. The eye will be a lot different though because the eye won't be rounded. It's really burnt in deep. So I'm going to continue on this and then I'll show you the progress I get as I'm doing this, because otherwise you're going to watch me do 1,000 burn marks. All right, I'll get back to you. All right, guys, a little update. So just randomly putting feathers in and then basically burning his little Jewish hat on there. That's what the bird looks like in there. So randomly putting, feather marks in and then just bringing it down with the razor tip. Now you want to make these things hot. Oh God, getting old. And you really want to get in there. You can see the eyes, they're pretty black. Might do something later with that. The beak's not as sharp as I wanted it to be. So, I don't know. I'll figure something out. And then we gotta make some legs for it. Legs. Just taking a break. So, we will be back to do more. So, we're going to keep on with the feathering, and all I'm doing is, I get any heat, oh come, hold on a sec, sometimes you got to tighten these guys up, they get loose fast. These things should be hot, especially if you have them cranked up high. There you go. You can see the smoke. So all I'm doing is I'm making little V's everywhere. And then when I get those done, all I'm gonna do is take my razor tip and just lightly, well, darken it hard enough, because you want those lines to show up. And I'm just sort of like kind of coloring it in, eh? And now that'll show like hair pattern, like feather pattern, hair pattern, I guess, whatever you want to call it. And then go through. Now I was saying about the beak, I didn't think it was sharp enough. I think I'm just gonna burn it sharp. And you can do that because you're manipulating the wood to the point where you can kind of bring it down with the heat, with the burning it. So you can see right now, as I'm touching it, I'm burning it. Don't inhale this shit. Should be wearing a mask, but I'm not, like usual. You know, you preach safety and you don't do it. Pretty dumb. But anyway, there we go. So that'll make it sharper. So yeah, so like I was saying, all I'm doing is I'm going up and down like little V's. Let's see if I can get you in there to see that. Like so. And they'll show up when we're painting as like a feathered, kind of a feather pattern. Let's see, get you better this way here. There's way better ways of doing feathering. Like you could probably just use the tip itself and just sort of go like that, burn it in. That works too. Sort of gives it a different look. We can continue with it. It's not gonna hurt the pattern up. So I'm gonna continue with this and then I'll show you the finishing steps. Last update before we go to the paint. I changed the pattern. I had the V's. Well, I just went flat with them. I like them better. I think they're better. Design, nice sharp beak, feathers, all the way through. So now, well, it's time to paint. That'll be part 3. All right. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for part 3. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment. Tip jar at the bottom if you want to help donate to the channel. Yeah. If I can do it, you can do it. Choose your own path. All right. Okay. Moving around. See you on the next one.